The LA Clippers were a heavy favorite to make the NBA Finals this season, but many people made that prediction with the thought that Kawhi Leonard and Paul George would be healthy. And despite being over a month into this season already, we really don't know the answer to that, which might be exactly what the Clippers want too. They have been one of, if not the most difficult team to figure out during the past few years. Many believed they would win the championship back in 2020, but yet, they failed to make it beyond even the second round. Then in 2021, following the injury to Kawhi Leonard during the playoffs, it was widely believed they would be eliminated almost immediately. And yet, they ended up making the Western Conference Finals, the furthest they have ever gotten in the history of their franchise. And then last season when Paul George got hurt, along with Kawhi Leonard missing the entire year due to recovery, I think we all thought they would be at or near the bottom of the Western Conference. But once again, many of us were wrong. They ended up being a top 8 seed, and rather than offloading some of their depth for a higher draft pick, they added more depth at the trade deadline, with that coming in the form of Norman Powell and Robert Covington. It seems like whenever we think we have them figured out, they end up doing something completely unexpected for better or worse, and that includes the way they manage their team as well, which the NBA is probably not too big a fan of. And in today's video, we'll be talking about why that might be, along with their potential ceiling if everything works out for them. Before we do that though, I would genuinely appreciate it if you could take a brief moment to drop a like, subscribe to the channel if you have not already, and hit that notification bell to never miss out when I upload a video. Without further ado though, let's get back to today's topic. And if there is one thing the NBA absolutely hates, it's when teams find a way to routinely rest their star players, while at the same time being good enough to do it repeatedly. And there is no better example of that than the LA Clippers. That is what many believe they're doing right now with Kawhi and Paul George. I mean, Kawhi Leonard is working his way back from a real injury, and we know how he likes to take his time with that, but it's hard to deny that they are not doing that with Paul George, nor that they haven't been doing that for years now. And the thing is, they have been able to do that without feeling the repercussions of losing. They have been able to win with or without those two on the court. Now, they're obviously better with them available, but they have found a way to rest them more often than any other star players in the league, and do it while maintaining a playoff spot too. They currently hold a record of 13-9, which is good enough for 5th in the Western Conference, and then for the 8th best record in the entire league. Although, that is a fairly small sample to look at. A better one would be looking at their record from last season, where they went 42-20 despite being without Kawhi Leonard, and only having Paul George for 31 total games. But how did they manage to do that? I think we can all agree that they have a great coach in Tyronn Lue, but he alone cannot make up for being without that much talent on the court. What they have done to make up for that is committing a huge amount of money to their depth. They have the 3rd highest payroll in the NBA for the 2nd year in a row, are about $70 million over the salary cap, and have a luxury tax bill of over $144 million. Not only that though, but they have more non-minimum contracts than any other team in the entire league. They have 11 total players who are on a non-minimum standard NBA contract and are at least making over $3 million per year on average. The NBA has been trying to prevent something like that from happening. Other teams are mad at the Golden State Warriors, but many are overlooking the money that the LA Clippers are spending too. But don't get it twisted, I completely agree with what they're doing. It's not against the rules, and it's not like they're doing it for free either. They're putting their money towards a well-balanced and very deep roster, which is not something that many other team owners are willing to do. Again, it's kind of frowned upon by the NBA, but I personally have no problems with what they are doing, and if I was a fan of their team, I would absolutely love the team that they have built. They arguably have too much depth, which is without a doubt a good problem to have, and especially when they are trying to keep their team healthy. They've kind of found a loophole with how money works in the NBA. It's allowed them to acquire a ton of high quality role players and be able to pay them as well. The NBA might not like it, but every team has the ability to do it, and yet, very few of them actually do. Now, I will say that there is definitely a risk with doing that, and up until this point, it's not really been worth it for them. They've paid all this money for nothing in return so far. Will that be changing? I mean, it probably should with all the talent they have, but that is yet to be seen. We don't know for sure if Kawhi Leonard will be healthy, and Paul George has dealt with injuries lately too. But given that they do find a way to keep them healthy, along with being fully prepared for the playoffs, we definitely need to call them a top tier contender. With all of that being said though, what do you guys think? How do you feel about the quote-unquote loophole that the Clippers have been exploiting? And then what do you think their ceiling might be? Let me know your thoughts by commenting down below and we can talk about it there. That will do it for this video though. Big thank you to those of you who took the time to watch until the end of this video, and until the end of all of my videos in general. I really hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, be sure to drop a like on the video, subscribe to the channel if you have not already, and turn on notifications to get notified right away when I drop a new video. But as always, thank you for watching and have a great day.